complete that puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master, fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my gaze. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I'll conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete the puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master, fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete that puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master, fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my gaze. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I'll conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete the puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master, fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my gaze. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I'll conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete that puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master, fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my gaze. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I'll conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete the puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master. Fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my games. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I seek. I'll complete that puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master. Fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my games. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete that puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master. Fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my games. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I seek. I'll complete that puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master. Fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet.
Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's competition. Can you hear me all right? Okay.
Yeah, you're coming.
Okay, great. Yeah, so tonight we have another mystery puzzle. This is EJJ number 29. We have a square box in front of everyone. And yeah, we have quite a lot of people participating. We have 88 registrations for tonight. So it's going to be busy. Tonight we actually have 2 virtual assistants helping me to catch all the finishes, since over like 65, 70 people can get a bit hectic, and we want to catch as many of you as possible on the big screen when you finish your puzzle. And welcome to all our viewers on YouTube. So some people are puzzling along, they've got their puzzles at hand, ready to puzzle along with us. And yeah, we're happy to have you with us. So we'll be starting in about 8 minutes. And as usual, this will be a 2-hour competition, 2 hours to finish 500 pieces. So Jim, you can go ahead and introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
Oh, I mean, the vast majority of people don't know me. I'm Jim. I'm also Nerd Puzzle on Instagram. I do puzzle coaching and am generally just a total puzzle goofball and know too much about silly things. So I'm really excited today to see how everybody does. This is going to be really cool. I know some people are coming off of back-to-back competitions. I heard rumor that there was a multi-hour extravaganza, a marathon of puzzling, if you will, that some people attended in. So it's gonna be fun to see how people have recovered from that. Jumping into this one, I'm also really excited because that square shape is rather unique in the puzzling world. A lot of puzzle boxes tend to be rectangular, so it's going to be I think several people may have locked in on what the brand could be and may prep for this a little bit, so this might be a pretty quick one.
Yeah.
Taking a quick just looking at some of the comments there, and yeah, hi Sandra, hello everybody. Yeah, the pick and place tactic is a thing we'll probably talk about as we see people using it today. It'll be fun.
All right, Joanna, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi Michelle, hi Jim, hi Daniela. Happy to be here again and helping. I'm from Wrocław in Poland, and here I'm organizing puzzle meetups, and I enjoy speed puzzling. I think that's it.
I think I saw on Instagram that you were organizing a puzzle competition for the first time.
Soon I will.
Hey,
very good.
Congrats.
No,
that's really exciting. No, there's always more and more competitions for people to get into, which is really great. So congrats on doing that.
Thank you.
And Daniela has joined us. Oh, she's frozen at the moment.
Daniela taking a moment to thaw.
Yes. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, it's a bit quiet though.
Wait a minute. I'm having troubles with my internet, so I'm trying to settle this.
No problem. Then I'll just go.
Now, can you hear me better?
Yes, bit better. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Would you just like to tell us what you're up to with puzzling at the moment, Daniela?
Okay. Well, I have the solo speed puzzling competition for the Dutch Jan van Hasteren happening on the 7th of December. So, wow, the switch between practicing for the Worlds in Spain, you know, the type of image now to full cartoon puzzles is really shaking me, because I started all of this story about speed puzzling with Jan van Hasteren, and I really like them. But honestly, since February, I'm not doing cartoon puzzles. Now I need to go back, and I feel like, okay, how was it? And the specificity of this puzzle is like they are so busy. A lot of things happening that you can make group. If you in a normal puzzle, you can make groups of what, 4 pieces, maybe 6 if you are lucky, so you don't have like big sections, a big sky. Maybe on some designs you have it, but the typical thing is that a lot is happening and you cannot really sort like you will do with a picture of a castle or things like this. So now the switching is requiring my attention. I really like it, and then I'm doing solo in December. In January, I'm doing pairs with my husband. That is usually my pairs partner, and teams for in February. And finally, I have done twice the teams competition, but with 3 of us, my daughter, husband, and me. And now my friend Mia, who was my partner at Worlds, she will join us for the teams. So yeah, quite busy practicing with this type of puzzle. Yeah, I'm happy to be here tonight.
Do you have sleep listed anywhere in the next couple of weeks as like a thing to do? Because that's an awful lot.
The what, sorry?
Do you have sleep on your list of things to do? That's just a long list. That's amazing.
Yeah, I have to say, I work as well, huh? I I do puzzling. I do a lot of things. I'm here tonight with all of you. I'm super happy to do it, and this is where I get my energy from. But I work as well, full time, 5 days a week, and I am a mom and a wife. Yeah, so really busy days lately. I have to say, yes.
Yeah, I have
And
to
I do
say, yeah, as you said, as you told me earlier, that training for the Jan van Hasteren, yeah, you're taking a bit of a break from participating in other competitions because you just want to focus on the Jan van Hasteren type of image. Yeah, I see that you just need a different skill, a different mindset for tackling those types of images. So, yeah, well, we wish you good luck with that. And thank you for joining us tonight. So it's,
Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks to Jim, Joanna, and Daniela for supporting me tonight. And yeah, let's get ready to unwrap the puzzle. So I'll just double check. Yeah, so looks like we have everybody here. All right, so you may now unwrap the puzzle and remove any stickers or plastic that may on there. Yeah, so this one has stickers.
It does look like an Eeboo. Very well could be. Right at the end of October, a surprise Eeboo coming into November.
Yeah, so there is a poster in the box, but it's the same size as the box. I don't really understand that. I'm not really sure what the benefit is. Okay, so when you have removed the wrapping and the stickers and the box lid comes off easily, please place the box back in the middle of the table so that I know that you're ready.
Yep. Lots of good lucks to everybody that are getting ready to hop in from the YouTube crowd. The calm before the storm, those last couple of seconds to stretch the fingers out, get your setup.
Okay, I think everyone's put their scissors away, got their stickers off. Okay. Yes, so please place it back on the middle of the table and I just check that I can see everybody's box. All right. Yes, luckily our timer is working again. My husband spent a lot of time to get it back on track. We didn't have a timer last week. So let's count down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck. And we're tearing into November right away here with the EJJ on this Eeboo puzzle. These circle ones are always pretty wild because of the big piece size, and circles aren't quite as commonly practiced yet. I think it's really coming around now. But it's going to be fun to see how many people have maybe seen this one before, or maybe just have like really dug into the Eeboo life. So, what do we have here, Michelle?
Yeah, so this is, as you say, from Eeboo. This is a woman-owned company from America, and they specialize in artwork by female artists. I just realized, so we did have another image from Eeboo a few weeks ago. It was a pears puzzle, and that also happened to be a vase of flowers, but I didn't do that intentionally. This one is called Crazy Bug Bouquet. So while there is some flowers in there and different plants, you'll see that there are a lot of butterflies, ants, caterpillars, and beetles. They all have faces on them. There's even a snail on there and some ants. Yeah, crawling amongst a bouquet of interesting vegetation. It's a circular puzzle.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's a quite fun, colorful puzzle.
Oh yeah, this is really lovely. It's an interesting combination of busy with a lot of gradient in the background to play along with as well. So being able to decide what you want to work on early is going to be really important on this one. Can really see like that table at the bottom has some good brown in it. The backgrounds are solid. The vase itself is really good, and then a lot of those plants have some interesting textures on them. That if you get caught up in some of the color distinguishing some of the colors, you might be able to dig into a little bit of the texture to build some anchor points. But this is really interesting, and those this sort of scenic scene circle puzzle can be a little tricky for people who aren't quite as comfortable doing a lot of shape work, because instead of being able to radiate out very easily or like using sectors, you really have to build anchors with slightly awkward shapes, which is pretty interesting. We're about 2 minutes and 40 seconds in here. And people are still flipping. We're going to see a lot of the top people wrap up their flip probably around the 3-minute mark, a little over, and get going. It's gonna. I'm really curious what sort of targets people aim for right out the gate.
Yes.
I know that. Oh, go on ahead.
Sorry, I'll just introduce who we've got on the screen. So we have. I'm going to start at N on the alphabet and work my way down to Z, and then jump up to the A's. So we have Nicole from Bulgaria, Paloma from Spain, Roxy from the UK, Sabina from Czech. Yes, Czech Republic, Sarah from Sweden, and Simona from Germany.
Yeah, lovely. Already off to a really good start. You can see some people sorting either the edges or trying to pull in towards the circle, the center circle a little bit more, and using that. No, I just got a hand wave for no from somebody there. Moving very rapidly. It is cool to see the different hand techniques that people have. Some folks are very rapid and have their fingers sort of flying across very quickly, and some people are much more precision based, doing one piece at a time across the board, which is really neat.
Yeah, so we also have Smaranda from Romania, Stein from Belgium. So Stein will actually be our guest interview later on at the end of the live stream. So Stein is a traveling speed puzzler. He's been everywhere recently. He was in Germany for the Trio competition. He was in Spain at Worlds. Last weekend ago, he was in France for the 24-hour competition. Yesterday, I saw him at the 10-hour competition in Belgium, and later this month he will be in Slovenia for the first national championships there. So we're going to have a chat to him about the different competitions. We also have on screen Susanna from Germany, Teresa from Sweden, and Tobias from Sweden.
And how cool is it that there's so many more competitions now that people can actually be traveling puzzlers and go to them? It's really wonderful. And you can see here on Tobias's board, he's starting to have his build area a little more cleared out, and he's working on the outer edge of it while putting some of the pieces in towards the middle, and that's going to allow him to have a little bit more controlled space and not have to worry about reshuffling pieces as he's building out. And Tobias is one of those precision puzzlers where it appears a little bit slower, but he's so accurate with the placement that it's like a typewriter machine. It's phenomenal. Suzanne seems to be doing wonderful. We're coming up on the 6-minute mark here, so majority of people are complete with their flip and running wild on this puzzle right away. So Jen already has that bottom part of the edge done with the table and a little bit of the background there. looks like they may be trying to curl up and around. Yeah, a lot of people have sorted the edges on this, and that's one of the tactics that you can use here. There's about I think it's 50 or 51 pieces for these circle Eeboo puzzles on the edge, so there's not as much of a time sink whenever you pull those all at once. But the catch is, because it's such because the pieces are so large and it takes up a lot of space, sometimes you can run into space issues early on whenever you go that route. It's not necessarily there's always trade-offs no matter what strategy you go for whenever you're doing this kind of puzzling.
Yeah, I really like what Vicky's doing. So Vicky is doing her pick and place. So very different to Tobias, where she is starting in the middle with looks like with the reds. So that's Vicky from Hungary. Also on screen we have Uta from Germany, Veronica from Germany, Veronica from Slovakia, and Veroni from Switzerland.
It's just all the Verons in this particular window here. Yeah, I really like Vicky's tactic here of picking out specific colors and textures and building islands around them. Vicky's also one of the puzzlers that has a really good sense of shapes of the pieces and how they fit together well. So this creating islands and placing them down is really, really slick. It can seem slow early on, but it picks up pace in the second half. Tobias has his full edge completed at this point. Yeah, so somebody, many people have worked with Jin at some point. Really fantastic. I think Veronica there has tape measured off probably for a world's regulation size. And yeah, Boken Business. For top puzzlers, having your flip and initial sort completed in under 3 minutes is usually the goal, because that's your rate of speed just to get going, and then every bit ahead of that is a net win. Yeah, a lot of people doing that bottom edge first. It's nice to have a distinguished part of the edge in order to build off of. Sometimes you can run into a situation where the whole edge is very samey or it has a lot of the same pattern, and so you can get caught up trying to force in all of those pieces. So a big trick for all the puzzlers is to make sure that you move on whenever you're stuck. We have some people saying that they think that the time here is going to be like 47 minutes and 35. That's Sandra. I think earlier I saw a pretty quick one. Yeah, if you have guesses of what you think the times are going to be, please throw them up there, because I'm curious what the world thinks at this point.
Yeah, I'd just like to point out, so one of the things I like about this puzzle was that the plants have different textures. So you can see that there's like a red plant with like a white webbing or a white net around it, which stands out really quickly. We just saw all the Veronis working on that. They'd all pulled those out. There's also like something that I call it a pineapple. It's probably not a pineapple, but it has that kind of texture around it, like a grid pattern going around, and there's also like a flower with like a zigzag texture on it. So those are all fun ones to pull out.
Yeah, and you can see that I think it's Luisa there has most of the vase built and is starting to do a little bit of the table inside of there. And that vase is a great pick. It's a solid dark blue purple. It's pretty clear on all the pieces. And you're right. I would love to go for that pineapple as well, because that's a nice brown that has a good texture that you can aim for and pull out really quickly. I'm curious to see when people go for some of those wackier textures. There's that one that has the brown, like Charlie Brown zigzags, that flower in the middle. But if you're seeing the reds or you're seeing the blues, you're seeing the purples, go for it and build it out, right? Like the priority is to get pieces in. So if your eye gravitates towards small, like colors that are relatively the same, and there's not too many of them, go for it and start hammering away at it.
Yeah, so on the screen we have Victor from Poland, Yasmin, just a moment, Yasmin from Germany, Aaron from the UK, Agnieszka from Latvia, Amka from Germany, and I'm also going to put Anna on there, Anna from Sweden. And I think it's interesting how Victor has got the centerpiece. So there's a very tight circle. The pieces are very easy to identify. He's started there and he's building out towards the bottom. And you can see he's got the purple vase going. So also a very different tactic to Vicky or to Tobias. So yeah, there's different places you can start here. Some are starting with specific textures, others with a border, other with the vase. You can see Agnieszka really has the vase. Also Aaron working on that purple part there.
Yeah, I think if it were me, I might forego the border, the doing the full border and focus mostly on larger areas of similar things that I can play around with, like that table or the vase. The red colors, there's not a whole lot of them. It's probably in total about the same amount as that brown table and the blue vase. So if you get those islands in, it's going to be good to work off of, and then you can kind of sunburst into the rest of the puzzle as you start digging through it a little bit. Somebody's estimating 3930 for this one. I think this might be a relatively slower one unless people have seen it before. So I might be tempted to say that around the 43-44 minute mark for some of our faster puzzlers on this one. But all sorts of things can happen in a short period of time. We're coming up on we're coming up on 13 minutes here, and so there's a lot of great things happening.
Yeah, I think when it comes to building, I mean, a circle puzzle is generally larger, and this puzzle also has larger pieces. So if you have a smaller puzzling space, it is harder to get that circle done because you end up like pushing your pieces towards the outer. I mean, it works for Tobias because he's got a very large puzzling space, but you can see Victor has about half the size of space that Tobias has, and so that's probably why he's chosen to start with some of the internal elements before trying to get the border done.
Yeah, the space management is huge, and even just where you put your pieces when you're not working on them is kind of a big deal. You can see on screen now. I can't quite read the name, but she has her pieces sort of spread out in a rainbow pattern above where she's above where she's working, and that can be a really good initial setup because you can grab from a whole bunch of different spots. The concern that you got to look out for is over time you can start splitting that pile a little bit, and then if you look to your right where you have more pieces but you kind of neglect that upper left zone, you may skip over some really important things that you're looking for as you start digging through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have also on screen we have Annelies from Belgium. She did really well in the Jan van Hasteren competition with her team. So they're from Belgium, but their team went over to the Netherlands, and I think they came 5th in their competition. We also have Annemie and her unicorns from Switzerland, Arcadius from Poland, Aurora from Norway, and Aislinn from Argentina with looks like the mouse from Ratatouille.
If a friendly mouse helps you puzzle faster, I'm all for it, right? Like if it needs to tug onto a braid to make sure that you get a couple pieces in, that's absolutely wonderful. And you can actually see they have a lot of that vase built, and some of the bottom edge, and it looks like they're shifting over to doing some of those red flowers and building those islands together a little bit. So I'm always curious with this kind of tactic is, can puzzlers see where the joins happen, where that space between the bigger islands that you're building, how do they connect to each other, so that way you don't end up burning a lot of time trying to find where does this one piece go. It's like, oh, I already built that island, they just need to stick together. So keep an eye out for that as people keep chugging through here.
Okay, so we have Bibi from Denmark, Birgit from Germany, and we have Boo. I don't recognize the name. They just joined now. I'll just double check if I have a registration. Don't recognize the name. Then we have Karian. Oh, spreadsheets. Now my list has disappeared. What number are we again? We're at number 25. Oh, how does this happen? Okay, there we go. Spreadsheet's not my
sometimes
skill.
Spreadsheets are a lot like puzzles. They just shift around a little bit on you. But this crew right here is doing a really fantastic job. You can see one, I think it's Carolyn there, has the whole edge complete and is now going in and trying to do that pick and place tactic of finding specific reds, dropping them about where they go, plus or minus about a piece location, which is really difficult. But a rewarding methodology if you can get it down right.
Yeah, somebody has commented that it might be Remy from Ratatouille, the mouse that's on Aislin's shoulder. That might be the inspiration. All right, so we also have on screen Karian from the Netherlands, Carolyn Arnsmeyer from Germany, and Carolyn Schöneis from Germany.
Yeah, and it's really I always encourage people to watch your puzzlers' hands, because as you go through, you'll notice that some people keep their palms almost flat towards the table the whole time, and they use just their fingertips to manipulate the pieces. And sometimes people go in and they'll rotate their hand a whole lot, and they'll use their left hand almost like a miniature board and just load that up. And sometimes that extra bit of that extra flipping back and forth gives you a little bit of extra speed because you have the rotation. Sometimes it can slow you down a little bit, just because you're kind of getting off center or not having your hand right where it needs to be in the most efficient way. But a lot of times, if it's a slower puzzle, those little kinds of ticks aren't going to add up as much as just being able to find the pieces that you're looking for. It's really cool that with a lot of the Netherlands puzzles, you can see them taking a few moments to really study the image, and then they'll go into the pile and try to find what they're looking for. And that's different from some of the US puzzlers who are very much on the table solvers, where they'll just, whatever's on the table, they barely look at the image at all. And that changes from person to person, which is really neat. Couple of dark tables there too, which is might help some of these backgrounds stand out really well. Having a black table on this one could be advantage here.
On screen right now, we have Chantal from the Netherlands, Charlene from Switzerland, Chiara from Italy, Christina from Denmark, Colin from Ireland, and Connie from the Netherlands. Now, behind Colin, you'll see another pair of hands moving. So Colin is working together, in the same room as Hi-Fi, who we'll see a bit later.
It's always fun getting to compete right across from somebody, because you can egg each other on a little bit, or it gives you a sense of pacing, which is really fun. Or in the middle of a puzzle, you can just give your friend a high five in the middle of it, as long as it doesn't slow you down too much. But they're doing a really fantastic job. You can see that I think the first person there has most of the center built in small chunks. They just need to join it up a little bit. They have a really good start on the border. The question's going to be, or do you start to worry about blocking the box a little bit, and getting stuck inside of the circle with extra pieces? You can see in the lower left there, a lot of those red flowers have been built. The border's not totally secure, And so you can see that there's a little bit of readjustment going on as the perfect placement relative to where the border is shifts a little bit until that's fully locked in.
Yeah, so something that Christina Riva Thompson, so in the bottom left, is doing, that reminds me of something that I do with round puzzles. What I realize is I don't like closing off the circle too soon. I will often try to do the border, but I leave a gap, and that leaves a space for me to slide in pieces as I need them, or if I've built pieces outside, and not to take up too much space. So I don't know if that is her strategy or if that just happens that she's just looks like that at the moment.
Yeah, it's a really great way to make sure that you can filter pieces in. The drawback is that if you're trying to perfect place things and you're using that pick and place or the dead reckoning, sometimes because you don't have the spacing quite right, you end up having to go back and readjust things several times. So it's a matter of making sure that you're continually using the best tactic for what you're working on, which is really cool. Plus, it looks like a fun little American football there, which is kind of fun.
So we also have so I'm leaving Chiara on the screen for a bit longer. So we also have Dietmar from Germany, Edith from USA, Ellen from the Netherlands, Emilia from Finland, and Everly from Estonia.
Yeah, and here we're seeing the whole range of puzzling, as it were. Chiara is doing very much a hodgepodge of different methodologies. She has some of the edge completed. She has a lot of islands for those red flowers built in. Is now moving around trying to find the next the next target. May end up moving up to that upper portion because it looks like she's sorted some of that blue, which is really cool. Amelia looks to be moving very well here, has a lot of the lower edge and the vase built. She's kind of working from the bottom up. It looks like has also done some of those red flower islands as well, and is going to build in from there. Prim cheering Amelia on, and Amelia's also sorted out that upper blue as well. Which could be handy to help lower the noise of those other pieces. I think those are all the upper edge. And I'm a little nervous because the part of that ring seems to be dangerously close to the edge of the table there. And so I'm a little stressed seeing that, but a quick shift will keep that right in place, which is really great. We can see next to her, Ellen has full border vase built and a little bit of the flowers going. Looks like she might be going trying to aim for some of the that inner white flower, or like the sort of the triangle shaped flower and some of the noodlies that are coming out of it, which is really neat. It's also kind of fun. I don't think this gets mentioned quite as often, but puzzlers will come up with the craziest names for things as they're puzzling that just looks like a texture or color as they're going, and tell themselves, oh, I'm looking for the noodle, I'm looking for the string bean, and it's not actually a string bean or a noodle. It's just what the brain interprets in that moment and lets you focus in order to hunt it down.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because there's also another object on there. It's like a red flower with a very textured, so it's a circular red fruit or plant, and it has this very textured surface on it. And I just, in my head, I mean, it's not a pomegranate, but in my head I was looking for the pomegranate pieces.
Yeah.
So on the screen we have Philippa from Portugal, Freya from Denmark, Hannah from Finland, Heike from Germany, Helen from the UK, and Hi-Fi from Germany. Yes, from Germany. Okay. So we had a question in the comments. So on the other table behind Hi-Fi is Colin Farrell. Is it the famous Colin Farrell? We didn't see the face.
Yeah, we can't confirm that it's not.
Yeah. Hey, celebrities can also get into speed puzzling.
Why not? Well, hopefully they're embodying Colin Farrell's bullseye villain from the Marvel movies and is, striking those pieces down exactly where they go to save themselves a little bit of time. Freya is off to a really, really good start here. It looks like Helena has a lot of that bottom built out and is going for some of that lighter orange background, that sort of pinkish orangish background, and is kind of building up and away from it, almost like a typewriter. Yeah, some purple puzzler mentioning. Yeah, naming things is recognizable. Sometimes you'll say, "Where are the shoes?" and then after you assemble it, you realize the image was a chocolate ice cream, which is totally what happens, especially in pairs and teams where you're describing what you're working on, and the team has to psychically understand what you mean by that. And that's part of like developing shared language on pairs and teams that helps you go a little bit faster, just being that extra edge of descriptive. Freya is doing a wonderful job here. Little extra shift, getting that red tower flower. Oh, it is Daniela. Okay. Nice to see you again.
All right, so we're getting up to the H's. Where did I start? I started at the end, so still got a few people to go. So it's 27 minutes, and it looks like Hannah has done about half of the image. And you can also see, as there is a gradient to the image. The top part of the circle is blue. At the bottom is like more of a pinkish hue, and there is also the brown table at the bottom. So we have Ines from Germany, Inga from the Netherlands, who actually I saw live yesterday. She was one of the other, well, her team won the 10-hour competition in Belgium. And so it was really nice to see Inga and Eric and Jim, Fenya, Rude, and Saskia. So their team of 6 were the champions. We were in 4th place. So yeah, always nice to meet people in real life.
That's wonderful. And taking a slightly closer look at Hannah L's table there, she's done a huge chunk of that bottom portion, and is now getting into that upper region where the blues and some of those greens are going to slow a lot of people down. But it looks like she has probably about a third of the puzzle like locked up at the bottom, and then some of those red islands that are going to fill in from there, which is really, really phenomenal at this stage. Inga is doing a great job. She's also has that bottom third of the puzzle working on, probably a little bit less than Hannah at this point. A lot of those pinks, the table and the vase is built up, and you'll see this with gradients. A lot of times people will start to get into a rhythm of what the color looks like in a certain line, and then they'll be able to drop that line in bit by bit, rather than going, I'm going to get all of the pinks. There's a little bit more of a distinguishing between, I'm going to get all of the pinks that are a little fuzzy on one side or a little bit off, and that way they're not over pulling as they're going through, and they can really focus on just one section of the puzzle at a time.
Yeah, so we also have Ingrid from Romania, Inka from Finland, and Iris from Denmark.
And Iris is doing a great job there. Has several islands built out. Looks like doing a little bit of that same hodgepodge of find the things that your eyes can see and build out from it. I can't quite see who's in the bottom middle there. But they're doing a fantastic job. They've gotten almost all the purples and reds built in. So now it's a game of being able to fill in the space between there and making sure that you're finding the joins as you're going through.
Yeah, I've switched up the screen a bit, but that was Inka from Inka K from Finland. Yeah, who's got lots of nice red and purple islands and a really good structure there.
Lovely, lovely. Yeah, and you can see some of the puzzlers that haven't done the full edge. they're still trying to place things about where they're going to go. They're trying to get that placement, and that's a huge amount of experience. There is being able to know about what the spacing is going to be on that puzzle, or looking at the image without having to be too terribly far off. Right? Whenever you're familiar with not just the puzzle shape, but the brand and everything like that, you can start to get a pretty good estimate of, okay, this particular flower is maybe about 5 pieces, and I know that it's going to be probably right here, and you already have the spacing worked out because you've done so many of these puzzles before.
All right, so we also have Jana from Germany. So that's Jana E from Germany, who's got a large section of the bottom. And then we have Jana from Slovakia and Janie from the UK. So we still have about 20 people to get through. So I'm just going to switch up the screen again. Want to have a chance that everybody has their moment before people start finishing. And I'm getting whispers from Daniela that someone at the other end of the alphabet is, at the very end of the alphabet is over halfway. So let's check.
Yeah, so scroll as you scroll through, go ahead and start scrolling through. But Jana's doing a really, really great job. Has a lot of those browns and yellows built out, and is just flying here. We are coming up on 32 minutes and 20 seconds here as we're charging through, and people are doing really great.
So we have Jenny from Finland, Jolie from the UK, Judith from Germany, Karen from Austria, Katarina from the Ukraine, and Kati from Germany. So Kati's done like pretty much the bottom half. So over 60% done, some really big islands there.
Yeah, Kathy's one of the top puzzlers in the world, and it's really showing here because you can see that she's used that gradient to her advantage. She's built a whole lot of islands and is just going to town. And you can see a lot of the other puzzlers who have started from the edge. They're using that to try to place those other islands in. And one of the hardest things to do is just find what pieces you're looking for inside of the field, right? Like whenever you want to build out one of those red flowers, you have to be able to find it in the chaos of the pile somehow. And sometimes having those having everything spread out is one way to make sure that you scan evenly across in order to find it. But Kathy's off to a really, really good move here.
Yeah, Kati was 5th place in the World Championships and is the top puzzler from Germany. So also we have Kirsten from Austria, Kirsty from Finland, Kristen from Norway, Lenka from Slovakia, and Lena from Norway.
Oh, yeah, and look at like the black table. You can see the reflection on it in our camera, but it may not be quite as defined on their end, which is really, really handy because those colors will pop well. And Kristen is moving with a whole ton of speed. Has that whole bottom half built out, and you can see that she's already. It looks like she sorted the edge pieces for that top, and so she'll be able to machine work her way around that and then fill in from there, which is really, really phenomenal. Annalise is doing a wonderful job. Lenka has a whole bunch of the puzzle done from the bottom to the top. There's just big holes in the middle that need to get filled in. If she's able to capitalize on that, she can have a really, really good finish for today. Yeah, that a lot of that blue top is built in. Several of the flowers there has blue islands that are also filled in, and so it's going to come down to how crazy those some of those green leaves and textures are going to be. And that's where taking a couple extra seconds to just study the image and go, okay, this side has this kind of feature, this has this kind of feature. You're able to discern that a little bit more with just a couple extra seconds of time.
Yeah, but it looks like Kati, Kristen, and Lenka are very close together. They've all got really great progress there.
Absolutely. They're doing really, really well. Yeah, Link is doing wonderful. Kristen, yeah, this is going to come down to be pretty close here, I think, for a lot of our finishers. And you can see we're. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, we have Lynn from Belgium, Madara from Latvia, Maggie Magdalena from Austria, Mari from the USA, Maria from Slovakia, and Mandy from the Netherlands. So I wonder if Mari has done this puzzle. So, yeah, I wonder if the Americans have done this puzzle before. Eeboo is not really that common here. In Germany, probably not so common in Europe as for most of the American puzzles.
Yeah, I know some of the Americans may have. I'm not sure on this call because you know, like you say, Eeboo gets around. I know for sure Mari hasn't done this one. This is new to her. She hasn't gotten to do a lot of Eeboos, so this is uncharted territory for her, and she's doing really, really well. You can see that she's built that whole bottom half and the upper part, and it looks like she has mostly the green leaves left to sort of fill in. And this is where you're going to see the slowdown for some of the top puzzlers is discerning those green leaves as they pass as you get to them, because one side has those like sharp, pointy, almost cactus-like green leaves that extend. Another is slightly more spinachy, but it's split into 3 or 4 different spots. There's some of this like dead leaf on the bottom. It's gonna be tricky for everybody in order to get through, but there's some good texture and color distinguishers that you're going to be able to build in there. And yeah, Sandra, that is some inside info from Jim on knowing about Mari on that one. For those of you unfamiliar, Mari's literally in the room next to me working on this right now. So it's kind of exciting to see it from this angle. But you can see Mari using her left hand almost like a miniature board and moving around in order to rapidly drop pieces in where she can see them.
So we've reached everybody on the list. So we started at N and we have gone through all the M's. We have Maria TV from Sweden, Marie from Norway, Matthias from Germany, Mona from Germany, Merta from the Netherlands, and I have Victor back on the screen, and soon we'll be closing in on the others as they get close to finishing.
Oh, and look at the person in the red there flying. I don't envy anybody. I don't envy anyone that can stand for 40 minutes and try to puzzle for that long. It's really tough on the back. We've seen some people sort of like lean on their knee or try to take steps or like little stretches here and there. It's real. I don't think that some of the like physicality gets drilled as much and trying to keep pace for that long. We're coming up on the 39-minute mark, and so usually after 35 minutes that fatigue sets in of, okay, I've been really focusing for a while, I just got to keep pushing. And everybody's doing a solid job of keeping through here. You can see Victor really flying. He's one of those people, he's one of those puzzlers that moves his fingers an awful lot and is really, really rapid with his motion. And he's hopping around. You can see him picking up a couple pieces, dropping them in, double checking things. Looks like he might be trying to finish up that border rapidly. But he's going to have a similar amount of those green leaves to fill in. But it looks like the bottom half that he has left are all sort of one piece at a time. It's not big gaps. And that's typically easier to close on because you can also use the shape of the pieces as an advantage in order to dig through. And let's keep in mind here, as we close in on the 40-minute mark, this is not an easy puzzle. And the fact that so many people are doing this well just shows you how much speed puzzling has advanced in just a few years. It's really, really phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks like Victor's puzzle just fits on his table. These circular puzzles are larger, 58.5 centimeters in diameter. So about 60 centimeters in diameter.
Ooh, Victor and Mari look relatively neck and neck. Inga is also doing a really fantastic job here. You can see that she's trying to build in some of that sky, trying to use the gradient in order to get the rest of the pieces in. It looks like Kristen is also wrapping up here. She has a little bit of a split pile left and right at the bottom, but that may be set up as a little bit of a sort in order to get those darker greens versus the lighter greens. We're kind of coming in on the rapid close here. We might be able to see somebody go sub 43 here. Kristen left using both her hands, which for those of you in the know is an advancement in the field on her part. Mari trying to get pieces in one by one. You'll notice she's using just her right hand now, almost going one by one, trying to use her left hand like a little bit of a board. She might be overloaded there. Victor bouncing around like crazy. He's coming in on the last couple of handfuls of pieces. I think it's maybe about 50 pieces left. And he rapidly picks up a couple and drops them in. I can't even see where the rest of his pieces are, but there are some holes inside of there that are going to be tough for him to fill out. I hope he has them sorted and spilled and shifted somewhere. It looks like Inga's doing a fantastic job. Has the rest of that upper corner filled in. Victor dropping another handful of pieces in. Kristen shifting her pieces around in order to get them all into the same spot, so that way she has them in easy access. It looks like she's reaching over top of the entire puzzle, has them all below. Mari has her pieces to the right. I think Kristen's ahead by just a little bit here, maybe a little more, gaining this. Victor accelerating into the second half because he doesn't have those big holes. He's able to use the shape of the pieces in order to fill it in. He's dropping them like crazy. There's the rest of the edge. He only has to fill out some of those surrounding edges around the flowers in order to get this in. Mari falling behind a little bit here as some of those leaves are giving her a little bit of trouble. Kristen picking up time. She's falling behind Victor. She has a straight line of pieces right up the middle that need to get filled in, but Victor might be able to accelerate through here, being able to just drop some of those pieces in using that shape. You can see he's moving his hand around the entire board to drop things in if he picks them up. Inga doing a fantastic job coming down to the last handful of pieces. She moves her hand to the right, gets them using both of her fingers to try to shove those pieces in just a little bit, one by one. It's going to come down to the nail biter. I know. Oh, Inga has finished. We have Inga wrapped up here. Congratulations, Inga. Getting those last couple of pieces in. Well done. But now the fight for second and third and fourth comes in. Victor coming in on the last 5 or 6 pieces, dropping it in one by one. Kristen using one hand as a plate to get the rest of them in. And Victor is going to finish here. And there it is. Victor finishes second. And Kristen just behind him. Very, very well done, everyone. Absolutely phenomenal. And now we have sort of a run for fourth, but this is really, really wild. We're coming up on the 44-minute mark, so those finishers were all just over 43 minutes and just under 44, somewhere in there. Really, really well done so far, everybody.
Yeah, that was amazing. Very tense, very exciting. So just to recap, first was Inga. In the same minute was Victor, and in the same minute was Kristen. So we had 3 finishes. In less than 60 seconds. Could be closer than that. So well done, everyone.
I mean, I clearly haven't had to shave that close in a while, so that's really, really well done. Being able to keep track of everything like that. And I highly encourage everybody to keep moving as best you can, right? Because it's always about you versus the clock. Mari finishing up here, coming in on the last maybe 7 or 8 pieces, going to be able to securely get fourth unless somebody sneaks in.
Lenka has a missing piece.
Oh no! A piece down.
Oh. And Kati
Lenka finishes, Kathy finishes, and Mari finishes.
Oh, Kati, you
Oh,
didn't
wow.
have your screen. Oh. Got Lenka just in time. Kati just missed the final moments. Woo.
Well done. We'll have to we'll have to check the timing tapes on that. to see the positions. But that was a really really fantastic finish for that second wave of people coming
because
in.
the
Very well done.
top three were in one wave. Then there was a 2-minute gap, and then Lenka, Kati, and Mari and Hannah all in the same minute. Well done. So we have 7 finishes. Inga, Victor, Kristen, Lenka, Kati, Mari, and Hannah. Oof.
Congratulations, everybody! And this is not for those of you at home. This is not an easy puzzle. So being able to get this wrapped up in under 46 minutes is bananas and really impressive. And Kiara finishes as well. Very very well done.
Struggling to keep up with everybody.
Yeah, and this is where the waves of puzzlers start rolling in little by little, and we've seen that outside of Worlds at finals, there tends to be sort of groups of people of similar puzzling finesse sort of coming in. And in these waves of 3 or 4 all in one shot, which is really really impressive. I'm cleaning up my screen here a little bit. Tobias coming in on his close as well. You can see him using that machine-like precision to just grab a couple pieces, puts them in. He never seems hurried. There's a lot of puzzlers that look a little frantic and almost like gnat-like running around. And Tobias just looks cool as a cucumber, just going piece by piece, getting the next ones in. Really, really impressive. Vicky has a couple handfuls of pieces left as well. Ellen going to push and finish strong here. Tobias finishes. Very well done. Congratulations. Getting that wrapped up. And I'm sorry if I'm a little delayed here for people watching on the YouTube. I'm a little delayed on my feed. Apologies for that. Yeah, a couple of people finished. So if you guessed a time that was around the 43, 44 minutes, you were correct. So well done on that. Veronica coming in. Keep pushing, everybody. I know sometimes whenever you hear other people finish ahead of you, you can sort of get in your head and be like, well, I guess that's that. It's you against the clock. You always want to be pushing for your best time, and then the rankings follow from that. So keep pushing no matter what. Let you focus on you. The more you can keep your focus on what you're doing and the solutions on the puzzle, the faster you're going to go. Mona there doing really well. Ellen trying to push through, getting the last couple of pieces in hers built out. Vicky making a quick dash. She might be able to sneak in here and steal a spot. And it looks like she finishes just in time. Yes, and Vicky will take in will take in the next slot. I've kind of lost track a little bit about who is where at this point in the rankings, but that was a really really good push there by Vicky right at the last beat. 11th for Vicky. Very very well done. So our top 10 finishers have all gotten done in just under 50 minutes, and that should tell you how difficult this puzzle is if even some of the best in the world are taking over 40 minutes to get through it. That's a little bit of indication of how tricky this one is. Very very well done. Cleaning this up a little bit. There we go. So I can see everybody. Veronica looks like she's going to be coming in on the finish. Just got to keep pushing a little bit more. It's easy whenever you go so long that the slog starts ticking in and you start going, okay, one more piece. I'm going to put this one here, this one here. Remember, it's a race. You got to keep that physicality going for the whole time until your puzzle's completed. Veronica finished, and Paloma just behind her. Congratulations to both of you. That was very, very close.
Yay! Go Paloma.
Very, very well done. Congratulations, Paloma. It was really, really fun getting to see you puzzle. That was really, really cool techniques across the board. That was fantastic. Very, very well done. Looks like with the cheering, absolutely. No, you earned it. Very well done. And Ellen right behind her. Congratulations to Ellen. Yeah, we're gonna keep seeing waves of people come in and finish through here, which is really, really fantastic. Just congratulations to everybody so far. And I think we have there's over 70 competitors in this round. Is that right, Michelle?
We have 87 participants.
Oh, yeah, that's way more than 70. 87 participants, and having the top, I think it's the top 15 now or so, finishing just under 51 is really, really impressive. It looks like Mona is coming into the close. Just got to keep pushing, keep the acceleration on. We believe in you. There we go. Congratulations, Mona. There it is. Very, very, very well done.
So we're at 51 minutes and we've had 15 finishes so far.
Absolutely phenomenal. And really, really, really amazing. And everybody that's still going, you're doing fantastic. This is not an easy one by any stretch. We can see that Iris is doing a really good job. Has most of the bottom filled out. A lot of the top is going to fill in some of that gradient inside of that blue sky-ish kind of area, and then it's going to come down to those green plants that are that give everybody a little bit trouble because they're split. And that's one thing to like keep in mind whenever you're doing puzzling. Sometimes the hardest parts are where you have very similar colors and textures, but they're split away from each other, like even if it's only like a couple of rows, it's enough to throw you off because you have to check in two different places for each piece on where it lines up, as opposed to having them all kind of in the same place, and you can very rapidly try to brute force it. Whenever they're split, it becomes a little bit harder and you have to keep track of more information. Inga doing a great job. Sjin doing a really, really solid job here. Has the most of the bottom third is coming up through that central flower. Has those red flower islands. A really, really common tactic on this one. I'm kind of surprised so many people saw red over some of the oranges and yellows. But you know, color differences, what pops out to you, what's even on the table at the moment goes a long way. Looks like Carolyn is doing really well. You can see that as time keeps ticking on, you'll see puzzlers start using one hand a little more often. They start going, okay, this one at a time, this one at a time. And it's a very different pacing than early on whenever there's so many great options to work on. Once you start getting to the point of a little bit of a slog or a little bit of a brute force, you can see people's physicality slow down a little bit. Iris picking up her pace a little bit here. Picking up her pace. It looks like Sarah is doing a good job shifting her pieces around a little bit in order to be able to reach to the top. And is dunking pieces one by one and only has a couple of handfuls left in order to get it done. Just got to keep pushing through here. We believe in you. Everybody just got to get that second round. Whatever you have to do to dig deep and get that second breath of acceleration in is going to be really important. It looks like Jenna is close to the last handfuls of pieces as well, and so is Caroline. It might be a little bit of a rush here for the next wave in order to see who finishes, who wants it. It's going to be one of those rapid fire brute forces. You can see people trying to rotate the pieces in their hands, just trying to use just their fingers in order to get it in, or rotating their entire wrist, which is a little less economical, but if it gets the pieces in, go for it. Coming in, and Yasmin finishes. Congratulations. You're on the smaller screen, but I could see things going in. I wasn't entirely sure, so sorry for not calling you out quite as much. but you did a really well, really solid job there. It looked like you were trying to finish those greens a little bit. That gives everybody trouble. So very well done. We're coming up on the 55 minutes and 40 seconds here. And Veronica finishes as well. Congratulations. And here comes Amelia to finish up as well. You can see she's moving very rapidly. Amka finishes. People just starting to roll in a little bit faster, a little bit more. Amelia finishes. Congratulations. There it is. Prim, super excited and proud of Amelia as well. Iris just behind her, only a few seconds behind. Really fantastic. It's always difficult whenever you hear more names being called out and you get the nerves and the hands start jittering just a little bit in order to keep that focus in. But congratulations, you were able to crack the time. Oh wow.
Ooh, that was they just kept rolling in one after another here. Oh, so just a recap. So we have about 22 finishes roughly at 56 minutes.
Congratulations. Really very well done. And Carolyn finishes. I know a lot of people, they have their goal of just getting the puzzle done in under an hour, getting the puzzle done in under 2 hours, and a lot of people are well on their way to doing this. Carolyn's gonna finish up, and it looks like Anne-Marie is also coming down the pipeline. Just has to push a little bit more. Those greens giving everybody trouble in that area. Yeah. Some tricks that you can use if you start feeling the slog. Sing to yourself a little bit. Start talking to yourself about what pieces you're looking on. Take 2 seconds to study the image and then dive into it and really keep going from there.
All right, so I think we have a little break for the moment. So I'll just add one more person to the screen, and then we can call in our first place winner for the day, Inga. So on the screen right now we have Jana, Kasinakova, Stein, Jenny, Jana, and Smaranda. It's a bit hard to see how much Jana has done because the camera is very close to the image. So it looks like she's going to be done soon, but possibly there's a whole bunch in the top half that we don't see. So Jana, if you hear this, could you just please move your phone or your camera a bit further away? All right, so let's check in with Inga. So first place 2 days in a row. That's, you're on a winning streak.
Yeah, my boyfriend actually just said the same, like, whoa, winning 2 days in a row. And I was like, oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah, well done. So what did you think of this puzzle today?
Well, I really liked it, actually. Throughout the whole puzzle, I was just like, oh, this is going pretty good. It really felt like a fast, easy, fun puzzle for me. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's funny, Jim made a comment. So your Jim, who was also on your team yesterday, made the comment that luckily it was not the vase of flowers. He would much rather have this vase of flowers than the one that we got yesterday.
Oh yeah, the flowers from yesterday were like a puzzle from hell.
Absolutely, I really didn't like that puzzle. So one of the puzzles that we got over the 10 hours, there were 9 puzzles in total, and puzzle number 8 was a vase of flowers, but done in a painting style where you could see the brush strokes. So it was actually a proper original painting, and the background was just dark blue and black, and it's just so much black. And the piece cut was only 2 ins and 2 outs. So in the end, we had 100 pieces to, shape sort, but they were all the same shape and all the same color.
Yeah, we immediately started with already one person working on the black pieces, but everyone who was working on it just got depressed and then had to swap with someone to do the black pieces. So we started a bit earlier with that, so I think that was good, because if you have to do it with 4 people, just the black pieces, but it was horrible.
in our team, it was like, okay, who wants this puzzle? You take it. No, you take it.
Yeah, I actually was on my break because I had done the 3 puzzles before, but then my teammates got so depressed with the puzzle that I had to swap in because somebody was like, I can't take it anymore. And I was still fresh, not depressed by the puzzle yet. So yeah, that one was not fun at all, but there were some fun puzzles.
I'm glad it was like a team event where you could share the load a little bit and you didn't have to just like do that whole stretch on your own. That would have been really, really tough.
I mean, there were some teams who were just 4 people with nobody to swap in, and I have so much respect for these people because we were already super tired and we were sick, so we could take breaks every now and then. But I can't imagine doing that the whole day. It's not again, but wild. I think it's better for your health as well to take some breaks.
There seems to be something diametrically opposed to being good for your health and intentionally doing a marathon of puzzles for 10 hours. So there's that's a little bit.
I had instructed Jim to take care of me because if I had to do quite a few puzzles in a row, so he just came out like, okay, drink something now. Because I knew I would forget because I would get into the puzzle focus and just try to do it as fast as I could.
A designated safety advisor.
Yes.
It's really fun. On this, like, I guess I'm kind of curious on this puzzle today. You saw the like vase or vase of flowers before in other contexts. Whenever you see it here, how do you treat the puzzle differently if you've seen something similar before? Because there's all sorts of puzzles that are like, here's a vase with a whole bunch of flowers in it, or here's a thing that's sitting on a table with a whole bunch of flowers. Does your brain go, oh, I have seen this before and therefore it is easy? Or does it go, oh no, or something in between? What ends up happening?
I see the puzzle and I'm just like, okay, what's my strategy? Do I need to do the edge first or not? Because usually I start with the edge, but for this one, it looked like it was a lot of blue. So I figured, just sort it out and leave it. And then just look at like the pieces that are, similar in texture and color, but not too big, because sometimes you feel like, oh, this color really stands out, but then it's too many pieces and it's hard to do. So I started with searching for the purples and the reds. And then, just all the textures. So the pineapple thingy and I don't know. I just went through all over the place, I think.
Well, it's really cool because, like you say, I'm used to seeing you very much go for the edge initially on things, and then use that as sort of a grid line. About how far into the sorting process were you like, yeah, the edge isn't going to work here?
I mean, I decided when I looked at the box, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do the edge. So I decided before I started, but then of course sometimes you say like, oh, let's do the edge. Usually when I decide not to do the edge, I do it when I'm stuck or when I feel like, oh, I have to think what I want to do next. Let's do the edge in the meantime. But and then I think I had done already quite the bottom half when I started doing the top edge. But for me, the edge also really helps with pick and place, like with putting stuff where it sort of belongs. Because otherwise it's sort of what you said, it moves around a bit and it turns out it's not exactly in the right spot, and then it can really slow you down.
Yeah, whenever you have to keep making those adjustments for being off grid, it can eat away, especially if you need to like stick big chunks together and they're a little disjointed. It feels like there's more space in there. How do you handle that? If do you like, is there a voice in your head going, hey, some things are too far away here, or it's a little bit off? Like, how do you course correct whenever something goes a little off like that?
Yes, I'm usually not that good at looking at the box and figuring out where stuff goes. I really had to practice that with speed puzzling because when we used to puzzle, we didn't even use the box because I'm like, oh no, it's too easy when you use the image. So we always put the box away. So with speed puzzling, I had to learn to actually use it and to be able to find stuff. At least these were pretty big chunks. So it was, for me, it was easier to see where they went than when it's smaller pieces, because then sometimes I'm just like, I don't know where this goes. I think this time I was not that bad with placing, so I didn't really have that big issue with they were in the completely wrong spot. I think the main issue was that the pieces are just so big and they were everywhere, so I had to move the pieces out of the puzzle.
Yeah, spacing issues is always always huge on things like this. Do you have like a oversized table, or is it just like, did you just use world's dimensions kind of a thing?
No, I used the whole table.
Okay.
Actually, my new strategy for the Euro Jigsaw Jams has become, when I think I know what the brand is, then I start with a flip and sort of this brand puzzle so that I have the feel for the pieces beforehand. And I did it with the Eeboo we had on the last pairs, EJJ, and I was like, oh, I need to spread out the pieces from the back a bit more when I start, because I had such a huge stack in my practice round. I was like, oh no, I need to spread it out more because the pieces are so huge.
Yeah. Well, and getting that spacing down, especially for like the whole circle edge, is really tough. And I see a lot of people with the circles. The search piles end up getting really split because they're trying to conserve space, and that to me makes it a little more difficult to figure out where everything's supposed to go or what you're hunting for.
Yeah, I just had my stack of pieces. Most of them were on the right of the puzzle, but like some were still on the left. And at some point I was like, okay, now I finally can move my puzzle so that I can put them together. But you can't really move your puzzle when it's not connected yet, because then all your placing is messed up.
Yeah. When you're I know some puzzlers, I've we've mentioned before, they're very much like on the table puzzlers, where if it's on the table, that's the only thing they're going to look at. There's some that use the image very explicitly to do the perfect placement, the pick and place or dead reckoning sort of methodology. When you're going to start working on something, do you see what you want to work on in the pile first and then check with the image to decide where it's going to go? Or do you look at the image first and decide what you want to work on and then find it in the pile? Or is it, or
I let
you kind
the
of switch
pieces,
between the two?
I let the pieces speak to me. So if I can find something in this pile of pieces that like, oh, this is something, then I sort out. And sometimes I guess when the pieces don't speak to you, then you can look at the box and be like, oh, I should be able to find some pineapple shaped pieces. And then you can try and find those. But I think usually I like to let the pieces tell me what I should do. Sometimes you look at the image beforehand and it's like, oh, this should be really clear. And then you look at the pieces and it's like, oh, it's not clear at all. Yeah. So it really depends. The pieces are sometimes very different from the box.
When the pieces are talking to you, do they have a particular voice that they speak in?
No.
Like, they sound like Mickey Mouse, or does the brands change the timbre of the voice or anything?
No, I think that would be distracting if they talk like Mickey Mouse. Like, pick me. No.
Especially if it's 500 different versions of it, right? All simultaneous. That might be get a little wild. No, but that's,
I do sometimes talk to myself like, okay, I'm doing the red flower, and okay, let's get the pineapple piece. But today I didn't really need to. But sometimes I'm like helping myself by telling myself what I'm doing. But yeah.
So you went from doing the 10-hour puzzle marathon yesterday.
Yeah.
And you had somebody that was designated to like make sure you ate and drank.
Yeah.
And then you did another puzzle today. Is this your first puzzle of the day?
Yeah, it is, because I had work.
Okay. Well, I guess I was gonna say, how many hours do you think you could go for without puzzling?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm addicted by now, so I feel like I would get some withdrawal if I don't do puzzles for.
You start needing a little bit of the puzzle dust.
Yeah. my boyfriend was also like, yes, I was like puzzle dust in my face. Everyone's like, yeah, that's when you're a true speed puzzler, when the puzzle dust is just everywhere. Yeah.
No, that's really, really cool. And what's I guess what's the next big event that you're preparing for?
Yeah, the Dutch Championship. We have our prelim in December, and I'm going to do the pairs this time with my sister. So we're really excited that we really want to do well. So we've been practicing for that a lot. And of course, I'm participating in like every Euro Jigsaw Jam. So I'll be having another competition this Thursday. Yeah, so that's the main events that are coming up. But I really enjoyed the marathon yesterday. So we want to do more of those. And it's really nice that we've connected with the other teams from the Dutch Championship. So with Venna and Ruud, they are from another team who we met at the Dutch Championship. But now we're like, oh, this is a good team setup. So we want to join some other marathon-like events as well.
Well, I guess it kind of begs the question: what do you think the longest marathon of puzzling you could go for is? Like
I don't know.
assume you could get like time off from work, and you have access to like food and water while you're doing it. Like, what do you think your limit is?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I've been really excited to join a 24-hour one for a while, but we were too late to join the one in Belgium from last week. I think we were too late to sign up, so we really hope to be able to join next year. But that just seems like such an amazing thing, like super tiring. I don't think I should go for more than 24 hours. I think that would just be unwise. But to me, it just seems amazing.
It's really cool that there's so many people that would want to keep going for that long. But I am excited for you for starting to collect your like Thanos number of wins here to put on your shelf. It's really, really phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm super, super excited about it. Today I finished and I was like, oh, first place. I got a little bit emotional because I was like, oh, I think Kristen is like one of the few puzzlers that I've never been able to beat. So I was like, whoa, I felt so proud. So yeah, because she's such an amazing speed puzzler. Yeah.
Well, and you are too, obviously. Like the numbers work it out. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks.
All right,
Oh,
so
man.
thanks so much, Inga. Congratulations on first place today and first place yesterday with your team. And yeah, we'll see you again on Thursday. Oh, did you catch that? I think this...
No, like my internet crashed, but I was like, oh.
Yeah, we had a bit of a freeze for the moment. So I was just saying congratulations for today and yesterday, and we'll see you on Thursday again.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Inga.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So the time is 1 hour and 14 minutes. So we'll have to, make sure we have enough time for our interviews. So I'd like to bring in our second place for today, Victor.
Hi.
Hi, Victor.
Hi, Jim.
Congratulations! That was a really, really well done, and on such a tiny space as well.
Oh, about this space, actually, I think I dropped pieces for like 4 times, and I just had a mountain of pieces on my left side, so I wasn't able to see them properly, and I wasn't even able to like take some sections and place them where I think they should go. and it was like all over the place. I was in a mess. I was a mess, and it wasn't enjoyable. But the puzzle is awesome. I want to do it again on like at least bigger table. But the experience was rough.
Well, it was rough, but still clearly you fought through it very, very well. That was super well done. Had you? I know Eeboo doesn't typically make its way out there before. Have you seen similar pictures to this before?
Pictures, yes, but I have never tried Eeboo before. So there were two things. First thing was the big size of the pieces that I was like, when I took up the bag, I was like, oh, this is going to be so fun. And then when I was trying to find some sections that I decided early on to like start with, I couldn't find them. And when I found something else and I was trying to put it together, I was like, why exactly those pieces aren't going together? And I was like, oh no, is this kind of puzzle that like the lines aren't like parallel to each other? I'm like, no.
Yeah, there's for those of you who haven't done an Eeboo, on these circles, there's a couple of pieces where it looks like a flat edge, but it has a squiggle in it, and so things sort of lock into place rather than with like the edge of it, rather than locking in with the knobbles, and that can be a little uncomfortable if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, and also the rings, I had to shift it so you don't have those straight lines going from the middle to like the outer side, like in Ravensburgers, let's say. And yeah, so that was off-putting, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, look, it looks like you were doing a really good job of building out of the chaos there and creating those islands to build in from. What kind of goes through your mind as you're in the middle of a puzzle at that point and all of the good options are done, right? Like, okay, we've done the red flowers, we've done some of this, and everything is just, a sea of murk. What starts to go through your head on how to prioritize finishing up a puzzle from there?
If we were to talk about this specific puzzle, I would say that there wasn't any point that I was feeling like I finished everything that was the easiest. Maybe after doing the vase, but like the vase was like at the very start, so not that much to do. But actually, every single flower, butterfly, like I don't know the name, but like the worms and everything. Everything was really, really distinguishable. So this puzzle is like 100% my type of puzzle. And also I am kind of a circle of puzzles geek, to say the least. Yeah, I wanted to like try the red, as you said. I wanted to try the reds, and yeah, it would be much easier if I found more than like half of them in my mountain of pieces.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult. So I had to jump every single time. So maybe that's what I didn't really feel this moment of having done everything. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know. And also I had home meeting muted for the first time. So I didn't know anything, what is going on. So I was just puzzling, and I was like, I think I am right now at like 1 hour. I don't like this. It feels horrible. But I was like, yeah, this is nice. I can do this and this. Actually, the blues were really helpful because they like go through the middle, all of the flowers and the butterfly in the middle and the worm at the top. So the blues were nice. The red would also be nice if I found them. And the kind of brown and beige strange blobs.
Yeah.
They were also
those jumped out to me early as like good target options because there was a lot of texture on it that would work pretty well.
Yeah, and also going by the background, because this was the thing that I was like, yeah, so I cannot find every single piece that I want. So what I should do is look at the background and try to go from the pink at the bottom to the blue with every single piece that I have, because there are like only two options, because when you have like the orientation of the piece, you can say it's either here or here.
Right.
And if you have the gradient, you know on which longitude it is.
Yeah. which line inside of that scene it's going to exist at. Yeah. No, it's really
remember the
phenomenal.
question. Sorry.
Oh no, that was perfectly fine. It's interesting that this is your kind of puzzle. A lot of people have an aversion to like flowers and trees and that kind of thing because it can be very samey and spread out. What kind of draws you to this?
I mean, not honestly, I wasn't looking at it at like flowers. I was just looking at it on like, I can see different things going on. Every red thing has a different texture. Every blue thing, maybe not everyone, but like most of them has different textures, and especially the brown ones. So I like this kind of puzzle because although there are details that you need to be aware of and not to get flustered with, you can, if you go one by one, which I didn't, but if you try to do this, I think it can actually work out well. And I'm quite good with like being, so I don't have everything to do this part, I'll just go on. I think I learned it like maybe like 2 months ago, and I was really bad at it because I was always like trying to find everything to finish it and then go on, and it wasn't really good. And I think if I did it here, it would actually be in more than an hour.
Yeah, it would be. I would imagine that would be pretty difficult to do. Well, I guess I'm kind of curious. What other big puzzling events do you have coming up now?
Big puzzle events. So first of all, I think it's the upcoming, but it's really small, upcoming pairs competition in Poland. But it's like local in my city, so not so many people. Maybe like 10 pairs. I don't know. And so there's that, and there's an AJJ, and more of AJJs. But then I have Slovenian championships that I'm going to attend at 23rd of November. I'm going actually with Stein from Belgium. And we are going to meet up with Janet from Slovenia. It will be very fun. And after that, I think we will be having some Polish championships, maybe, I don't know. If we do, I will most probably attend. I don't know, but I can only guess.
Just a hunch.
Like, there is this one thing about like what brand will be used that I am not really keen on, and I am actually very close to like boycotting things. I feel so strongly about like this thing, but no, I think I'll go. And one other thing is that we, which is Natalia and I, so our pair from Worlds, we actually want to organize our like pseudo nationals that will be using Ravensburgers. So I want to talk with people that have organized those kind of events before. There are many people that I can ask to get some help, and we will try to make it like in the center of Poland so that everyone won't say that it's too far away for someone, because all of Polish competitions are always like on the most north or most south, so
centralize a little bit so it's easy for people to get to.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think there's one upcoming thing, but it's not like very close, but in 1st of March I'm going to take part in the 24-hour challenge in France, with the team. I think Hannah from Finland was talking about it last time.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be really, really exciting to see that, and I hope you pack sufficient amounts of like water and food as Ingo was mentioning, right? Make sure you have an emotional or physical support standby to like make sure that you get some water, take breaks.
Oh, I mean, there are also like little competitions that are going like simultaneously to the challenge. So there are only 4 people allowed to the table. So we have 6 persons in the team. So we have some slots for like pairs competitions. I think there are 3 of them, and one of them is individual. And this one I am attending. I think I'm the only one from the team.
So you might take a pause from marathoning in order to still puzzle.
Yes.
That's absolutely amazing, Victor. Well,
I'm not the only one.
Oh, I know. Everybody's. It's really, really cool how the community is growing in such ways that there's more and more formats coming out, different ways to try and to play. It's really cool, and congrats on helping to like bring more people in as well. I know a lot of your tips on Instagram have really inspired people to be a little faster and do a little more with their puzzling as well. It's really, really fantastic.
Yeah, it is really nice to hear. Maybe also from people that are trying to do a speed puzzling, but also from people that just wrote me a message that they just do puzzles for fun, and once they understood my tips, they were able to enjoy it more because they weren't frustrated with like some areas, or like it wasn't taking so long because they followed through. It was really nice, actually. It was very charming to hear.
Well, you do really cool stuff, and I do recommend people check out Victor's breakdowns because they're really solid on there. But I hate to sort of shuffle off because we have a couple of people that we're trying to get to. But thank you so much, and I always get a kick out of seeing you puzzle, man. Like it's really, really fun to watch your methodology. It's great stuff.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations, that was wonderful.
Yeah, congratulations on second place, Victor. And yes, thanks very much. We'll see you at the next EJJ.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, so we are at 1 hour and 28. So if your goal is under 90 minutes, go. You've got 2 minutes to go. We've had a lot of finishers, but we also still have a lot of puzzlers. So yeah, keep on going, keep the momentum, and yeah, fight off that sluggishness that may be setting in now. All right, so let's bring in our third place for today, Kristen.
Hello there.
Hello.
Congratulations, that was very well done.
Thank you.
So tell me, what did you think about the puzzle?
It was all right. I mean, I'm not a big fan of round puzzles. I'm really bad at them, but it was a fun puzzle. I like the flowers and like all the little bugs around. Yeah.
Did you gravitate more towards any particular element in there? Like you saw more of the bugs or saw more of the flowers as you were going through things?
No, I don't think so. I just like looked at the colors.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I tried to do like the bottom half because it was like brown and pink, and yeah.
It was just a nice big chunk of gradient to build out through.
Yeah, it was all right.
No, it's really cool. I know that circle puzzles tend to be a lot of people either love them or hate them. What about circle puzzles isn't quite your jam?
I think I'm just not used to doing them, so that's maybe a problem. and then they take up a lot of space. You have to like start moving pieces around and plan ahead more.
Yeah, I was noticing when you were coming up on the close, you were doing this really cool thing where you had a split pile, and I could see the thought process through your hands where you're like, nope, I'm gonna bring it all down in
Yeah.
one shot. So that way it's all together, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Mhm.
Is that a thing that you consciously are thinking about as you're puzzling, or is that just like an ingrained reflex after doing so many puzzles and practicing so much?
No, I think I have to make like the decision to do this. I noticed that the pieces like went to both sides, and I thought, oh, that's a problem. So I had to like get them together.
Sometimes whenever I'm puzzling, I like go through a triage of things to tell myself or to like encourage do you ever talk to yourself as you're puzzling, or are you like laser focused on just solving the thing in front of you?
When I'm at home, I talk to myself like out loud. But I don't know if it's like any purpose to like what I'm saying. but yeah, I do talk out loud.
Do you ever name we were talking about this earlier, and I think you were still puzzling at that point. Do you ever name parts of the puzzles things that they are not? Like you see a bit of a flower and you're like, oh, that's a shoelace, even though it's not even a shoelace. Like, do you name them weird things because that's just how your brain sees them?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you just know what it is every time.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you think that you for some people, they are very much like table solve, where they just look at the pieces on the table. Do you can you walk me through how you either use the box or don't use the box all that much whenever you're trying to like go for speed?
On this one, I had to use the box quite actively because like it's important to get them placed as you go, so you don't take too much space. And also, when it's circular, it's really difficult to see like how things are placed compared to each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
So sorry.
I have to use the box a lot, yeah. Compared to like normal puzzles.
like standard rectangle. Have you ever done one of those triangle puzzles?
No.
Okay. I wonder if that might be a happy medium between a circle and a square.
Yeah, perhaps.
We'll have to see if we can get you one, and you can test it out.
Yeah.
It might just be an angles thing, like 360 is a little wonky, but if it's at 180, that might.
Yeah.
What sort of puzzle events do you have coming up?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think I have some like Euro Jigsaw Jams. I think I have a pairs one in end of this month. And yeah, I'm not sure. But then next year it's like the Norwegian Nationals and the Nordic Nordic Championship.
And so you're already gearing up for those a little bit?
No, I'm on a puzzle break. Yeah. So I'm just doing puzzles in the Euro Jigsaw Jams. Like.
Oh, okay.
I'm not puzzling outside of this. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, you kind of proved everything you needed to at Worlds, right? Like.
Yeah, and then I'm really quite busy, and I'm not sure why. Like what I was thinking when I signed up for all the Euro Jigsaw Jams, but yeah, it's fun, so no problem.
It keeps you moving a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Have you have you been having crowds of adoring fans follow you around since Worlds, asking you to like sign their edge piece or something like that?
Yeah, like maybe my sister. No,
Your sister? Yeah.
no, I don't have any fans following me. No.
Oh man, I'm surprised. I would imagine that it would just be like parades of people following around, being like, "Can you solve this puzzle? Can you solve this one?"
Well, I live in like a small city in northern Norway, so I don't think there's a lot of people that are like puzzle fans. Or yeah.
Did you have you ended up in like a lot of local newspapers and things like that since then?
Yeah, some. I did like 2 local newspapers and then 2 national news stations newspapers, and then I had to like decline some because I was sick with COVID. So yeah.
I'm sorry you weren't feeling great, but I'm glad you're feeling better now.
Yeah.
Is it how does it feel to like see your name like in the news or moved around as like the best in the world at a thing?
It's both fun and uncomfortable. Yeah.
What's uncomfortable about it? I guess I'm kind of curious, because I just get nervous about my name showing up in a newspaper anywhere.
Yeah, it's just like the attention. It doesn't feel great, and then you get kind of nervous about how will people react. And yeah.
Yeah, I would think that the majority of reactions are, "Wow, that is amazing."
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it really that's what I was thinking while you were doing this puzzle. Like your close was just so fast. Like there was a little bit there where I thought you were further behind, just because of the sheer number of pieces that you had, and then you just like breezed through through it really quickly. It was pretty astonishing. Do you ever do you sometimes surprise yourself with how a puzzle goes?
No, I don't. maybe if I do something wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
If, well now I'm curious. What sort of things could we do to surprise you while you were puzzling?
Oh. I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to Michelle and see if we can come up with like a soundboard or something to like just make duck noises every time you put a piece in, or
yeah, but you're on mute, so.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to make.
Yeah,
all right.
I found the last time, but yeah, I just focused on what they were saying instead of the puzzle, so it didn't work out for me.
Yeah, a lot of people end up like tuning out for a while while they're puzzling, so that way they can focus in. Does your sister sometimes troll you a little bit while you're puzzling and like throw darts or like a softball around?
No. But sometimes, like today, she made me nervous because she was like moving around and looking at the screen and looking at me. So I thought, oh, am I doing really bad or something? Yeah.
Yeah. Just having somebody there being excited and sort of antsy can feed into that a little bit.
Yeah.
I would my sister would be the kind of person that would come in and like shake the table a little bit while I was doing it.
No, she's really nice and quiet.
That's cool. Do you get to like team up with her while you're working on stuff, or is she just your like cheerleader, ride or die?
I mean, she just sits there like quietly.
Okay.
Most of the time, yeah. And then she like moves a little bit closer to have a look. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, I'm really glad you have that kind of like positive support there as you're going through.
Yeah, I mean, they drive for like almost 1 hour just to be here. Well,
Oh, that's wonderful. They drove out just for this.
yeah, they do. So they're really nice.
Make sure to give them a high five from me, because that's dedication and really, really sweet.
Yeah, it is. Like, and it's snowing and it's really dark. So yeah, it's really kind of them.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Are you do you have a particular like winter weather drink, like hot chocolate or anything like that?
And no, just like coffee to stay awake, because the days are getting like darker and darker and the sun is gone. So
Well, I hope you guys get to enjoy one of those going into the evening and get to spend some time together, because that's really wonderful and sweet.
yeah, true.
Is there anything you would want to tell your adoring puzzle fans, like a tip or a trick before heading off into the puzzle box?
I mean, I'm on a puzzle break right now, and it's not working out like to my benefit. So don't take a break. Just keep puzzling. Like stay in the game. Yeah. I think that's my tip. Yeah.
It makes sense. Well, it seems to be working just fine. You have all of your speed already, and we're real excited for you.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. A third place is a good place. It is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I get the sentiment of like third place is a good place, but first is a better place.
Yeah, it is.
But it's just fine. If it's on a puzzle style that you're weaker on, and you're still doing that well, that's phenomenal. Congratulations, really, really, really.
Thank you.
But hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and give your family a high five, because they seem awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I will. Bye.
Thanks. See you later, Kristen.
Thanks, Kristen.
Yeah, bye.
All right. So the time is 1 hour and 40, coming up to 43 minutes. So still 17 minutes to go. We have still left. We have Marie, who's just a handful of pieces away from finishing. Connie, Connie has just finished. We also have Karian, Christina, Kirsty, Everly, Heike, Jolie, Colin, and Teresa still going. So we're here rooting for you. We hope that you all finish. And let's bring in our guest for this evening, Stijn Hudders from Belgium, who's been to seems like he's going to every competition that he can. Hi, we can hear you, we can't see you.
My camera should be
your camera's on.
Yeah,
we just have to shift you around on the thing. There we go. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so yesterday you were at a team with only 4 people. So he was at the 10-hour event, and you are allowed 4 people puzzling at the same time, but you're allowed up to 6 people. And so he never took a break. I never saw you took a break, and I wanted to come and say hi, but like you were always just like head down, focused. And I was like, and then like some hours later, I was like, I better say hi. Like, I don't think I'm going to get an opportunity to have a chat with him in a break. So, I went over and said hi.
And I felt like I wanted to talk a bit to you, but I wanted to puzzle, so I had to find a balance, Yeah.
Yeah. So what? First of all, what was your impressions of this puzzle today?
I really loved it. It was an amazing puzzle. It was my first Eeboo, but it was like really enjoyable. I loved the image. I've heard some other people say that the cut was, a little bit getting used to. I agree with what Victor said about like the lines, where some pieces like feel like they don't match, but then they do. But for a puzzler who's not as fast as me, it's not a huge deal. So just added maybe a couple minutes, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm. And so
you did You did a great job on it. Like that was really cool. Have not whenever you come across a puzzle that you're not familiar with, like a puzzle brand, what kind of goes through your mind whenever it first comes out? Like, do you have a triage of how to approach it?
Yeah, it's interesting that you asked that question. The first time I did a round puzzle was at Worlds 2023. And I completely freaked out because I was like, I don't know what's happening. I'm not, I don't have my, what do you call it? My
Your comfort
my
zone.
safety net, so to speak, of like knowing how pieces work together.
Yeah.
So I feel like much more dependent on, like almost like freestyling and winging it. So I had that a little bit today where I'm like, okay, stay calm. It's like a bit of a weird cut, but don't worry about it. Just focus. And yeah, it worked out. I'm getting better at it as we go. But it was definitely something to like a process to go through. Because I remember like last year, it was tough on me because I practiced so many when I first started speed puzzling was beginning of 2023, around March, April, to train for the World Series Championship, and I only did 500 Ravensburger. I literally only bought those. That's all I did, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, and then people like at the championship are like, "Oh, do you enjoy thousands or big puzzles or smaller?" Never done them. Never did any other brand. It was just so like laser focused. So yeah, come a long way since then.
Yeah, the circles in the semis last not 24 but in 23 threw a lot of people off because it was a surprise. And then this year a lot of people overcorrected and did a ton of circles expecting those to show up.
I bought every single one of them and I did them at least 4 times each. Yeah.
Yep. Did you start to like them more after you did them a whole bunch?
Yeah, I actually did. I remember when I came home from the 2023 championship, the first thing I did was just put my bags down and did the same puzzle again that I failed on and didn't qualify with. Yeah, I enjoyed it much more with less stress and knowing a little bit what was going on. And now I love them. I really like the round puzzles now.
That's really great. Congrats on that. So tell me a little bit about what it's like to travel to every single puzzle event that has ever existed.
I mean, not every single one, but I mean, yeah, what's surprising for me was that even though the community is very competitive, in a way, it's also very supportive. And when I first started, I always felt like, oh, I need to be like super fast to be like make friends and get to know people. And then I found out that's not the case at all. So it's really nice to just meet people, and that's my biggest reason for doing these events. Sometimes it's a while traveling, but it's always worth it. It's always so much fun. Yeah, and especially these marathon events, like you get a lot of bang for your buck. You only have to travel 2 hours, and then you get to puzzle 10 hours. So yeah, we actually thought about getting a 5th member for a last competition, but then I'm always thinking like, oh yeah, that means like 2 hours less puzzling.
You didn't want to share the puzzle time.
Yeah, exactly.
But the breaks were so good. I really enjoyed my breaks because then I wandered over to the other tables, and then I was chatting with whoever was on their break. With Jim and Eric, and there was another table of people we knew. They only had 4 people, but I was just standing at their table and having a little chat. So I really enjoyed the breaks and came back really like extra motivated.
Yeah. In the moment, I also could have used a break, especially for eating. I was a little.
Were you doing like one-handed, like eating something and puzzling?
Eating like a hot dog and then like putting pieces in still. Not ideal. We lost a bit of time there actually.
We might have to get start designing helmets for puzzling that, like, if you put a piece in, like a little food drop comes down, or like the little hamster carrier kind of.
Yeah, they have these like things to drink from the backpack.
Yeah, the camel packs. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be amazing. So whenever you're going to all these different events, are you like I know the puzzle community is very, very welcoming. Is it the kind of thing where you just meet up with a couple people and they're like, hey, stay at my place, or let's stay at this hotel together and split cost? Is it that kind of thing?
Yeah, usually it's like that, especially, for example, the Slovenian competition that I'm doing with Victor. He mentioned it before. We could just stay over at Jeanette's place. Also, just like a friend I made on the first Jigsaw Championship. So that's super cool that you have a place to stay there. For these other competitions, I also get to stay over with a friend of mine in Brussels, who lives closer to the competitions, because currently I'm living in Amsterdam for a while. So it's quite a while actually to travel. I travel like 4 hours by train to Brussels, and then we drive like 1 or 2 more hours to the actual competition. But yeah, I always have a place to stay, so that's great.
That's really cool. Do you have any advice for some of the puzzlers that might be nervous about reaching out to other puzzlers that they don't know to try to set something up like that?
That's a very good question. I don't know. I feel like usually I'm also a little bit shy in just approaching new people. But when I'm at a puzzle event, it feels like those are like kind of your people. It's so easy to approach them. It's so easy to talk to them about things. You just talk about puzzles. So my advice would be start going to events, because I feel like online it's a little bit harder. Like you can meet a lot of people and that's great. But there's nothing that beats the face-to-face, knowing who you're actually talking to. So the first Jigsaw Championship, I was all by myself. I didn't know a single person. I just went there and just figured it out. And like I said, I'm not the most social person, but it was so great. It was just like a world opened up to me. Everybody was nice. Everybody was welcoming. And that's when I started, meeting people, and then trying to connect the faces to the Instagram handles. Was the hardest part, because there's so many of them. But yeah, that's kind of how it starts. And then, people remember you, and, you got to make a good impression, of course, in person. But I mean, a lot of people, with all due respect, me included, are sometimes a little awkward in person, but it's fine. Just accept it. Not everybody is like a social butterfly, so it's fine.
Yeah. Well, and puzzling on average from the people that I know tends to have a leaning towards people that are introverted by default.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that there's this sport where people that don't normally feel inclined to be super social or feel awkward around other people, they can still go and do a thing that's fun and in a very, very welcoming community. It's really, really neat.
Yeah, exactly. And if you meet a person and you feel like it's a bit awkward, just do a puzzle together. And it's just like you have something to focus on, and the ice is broken that way. So
yeah. And you don't have to stare somebody in the eye or worry about eye contact. You're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this together.
Exactly.
So this might be sort of a silly question. What is an ideal icebreaker puzzle to do with someone?
Ooh, that's a question I didn't anticipate. I would pick something that's not too hard, because you don't want any dead moments where you're both staring at each other and be like, I don't know what to do, and then you kind of have to talk. So I would pick an easy one. I don't know, maybe one of the postcards that everybody knows. It's just comfortable for the people. I would just do a 500 piece. Doesn't take too long. You can do it in probably an hour with 2 people. Most people probably can. Just relaxed, and there's always something to move forward with.
Maybe one of the events there'll be not quite like speed dating, but speed puzzle rotations.
Yeah.
Every table gets a 100-piece puzzle, and then every 5 minutes you switch. That'd be kind of funny.
I have actually been thinking about that. I've been thinking about how other puzzle not a competition, but other formats where you can puzzle together, but without this competitive element. more like of a social element. Like I also thought about having like a tables with like 4 chairs there and like just different puzzles at each table, and you just sit down at the table where you fancy, and then at like 15 minutes like 2 people have to get up and move to another table, and so you also have like this rotation, and then the next time it's the other 2 people who have to go and find other tables, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I was actually talking to Donna Louise and Jeanette, who I did this year's championship with, and Shaban as well. We were talking about how it would be fun if the Worlds was like a little bit more of a convention type of thing with a lot more side things too. And I feel like they are trying that because they had a lot of the outdoor tables where you could do stuff. I think that was a great start. Yeah, there's definitely room for more stuff. And like you said, if you want to have those things at a competition, it's usually hard because people are so focused on the competitive part, and then there's no time and everybody is tired. And yeah, I think it would be great, but it would have to be kind of like a separate thing.
Yeah, because that's also some feedback that I heard. Like people were like, I was so busy at all the competitions and with the schedule, and then we're training in between, and then you have to sleep and have something to eat, and then there's not that much time just to hang out and do like a puzzle for fun. Yeah. So maybe, yeah, it would be good if there was an event where there's also like a social slow puzzling built in there, that you have just a day to hang out and catch up with all those people that you want to spend a bit of time with.
Yeah.
That'd be neat. So what does preparation look like for the Slovenian championships coming up?
I'm relying mostly on Victor to carry me through the competition. I decided to take it not too serious. I mean, I'm always doing speed runs on 500 from time to time, but not like Worlds where I'm just like focusing and trying to predict a puzzle and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I did the 24 hours with puzzlers that are much better than me. The Italian people, Chiara and Lorenzo and Michela. And I actually tried as much as I could to just like hand them pieces and like sort a little bit more for them to kind of balance out the fact that I'm not as fast as them. And I kind of enjoyed that. So I want to practice that more. I want to, try to become a bit more of a team player, so to speak. Because it is a process, because there are times where it just, especially if you're puzzling for 7-8 hours, you get like everybody gets frustrated a little bit or annoyed or tired, and then the small things can like kind of rub you the wrong way. And it's a process to just like remember we're all in this together. Everybody wants the same goal, So I think for Slovenia that will be a great practice again. Puzzling with people that are much faster than me will just be fun. Just even to just watch them, but also help them, be even better.
Well, it's cool. It's cool to be able to find sort of the pocket that feels good and helps the team do really, really well, but then also learn those other tricks so that way you can be more well-rounded and jump into different slots if it's needed to, right? Like, I think people often overlook how hard feeding pieces is, because it's, anybody can put pieces together and very quickly if they have all the right pieces.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And setting somebody up to be able to do that is wildly difficult, right? So if you're doing that very, very well, that's a phenomenal job. That's really, really cool.
Sorry, I just need to jump in for a moment. We have 1 minute left. So go. Heike, Jolie, and Colin. Every piece counts. Just find another few pieces and do what you can.
Get them in while you can. I know we've been yakking a whole bunch, but we haven't forgotten about any of you.
Heike, there's a piece. Yeah, there's a piece next to the pineapple that's missing.
It's always fun whenever you're seeing other people puzzle and you're like, oh, but this one's right here, and it's wildly difficult to see if that's actually the right one or not. And really cool to see the multiple puzzle boards that Colin's using and Hyber using that black background as well to distinguish. That's kind of an interesting tactic there.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. It's 2
Hey.
hours.
Congratulations.
So well done, Heike, Jolie, and Colin on this very busy, tricky puzzle. So anything that's 3 pieces or more connected can stay as an island, and then the individual pieces or just 2 pieces that are connected need to be counted. So just go ahead and count those extra pieces and write that in the chat.
Yeah. And congratulations, you did 1/5 of the 10-hour puzzle marathon. So if you're still feeling okay from this, maybe try to sign up for one of the marathons.
Yeah, Stein, could you tell us a bit about the 24-hour event?
Yeah, what would you like to know? I've listened to the other ones, and I feel like a lot of was already discussed. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, I had some very fast puzzlers, so there was definitely some balancing act, so to speak, between, you know, like being supportive and actually puzzling myself. Although, to be fair, a lot of the puzzles were very busy, and then it's quite hard to like do a lot of sorting. It's mostly just color sorting and that kind of stuff. But yeah, more specifically, I also noticed, because it was the first time puzzling with some of these people, I noticed that everybody is kind of different, in that some people are just super focused on what they're doing, and other people are much more like, you know, in the moment with not in the moment, like aware of everything that's going on. Because I remember just sometimes I give pieces to a person, and I feel like they ignore me because they're just so focused. And then it's like kind of tricky, because you're like, I know where this goes, this is in your section, but you don't want to like distract them, so you kind of like wait for the right moment, that kind of things. But yeah, overall, I think it was a great event. The music was a little loud sometimes, but I mean, people needed it to stay awake, so yeah, that was fine. I had the night shift actually, so I started at 9 p.m. and I puzzled all the way until 10 in the morning, with like 1 hour break. So, but I'm a night person, so it wasn't too bad. But I would definitely do it again for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like having the night shift for the 24-hour more, or like how would you compare the night shift of the 24-hour one versus just the day shift of a 10-hour of a 10-hour during the day?
So I work late at night. I basically start working around 10 p.m. in the evening, because I call with people from the US, and there's like a lot of time difference, and I usually go to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning. So for me, these day events where you have to like get up and at them at 8 in the morning, they're actually very tough for me. Yeah, so I prefer the night shift if I could choose. Yeah, just being at the event at 9 in the morning is rough. But I mean, the adrenaline helps to just power through, and usually I'm fine. But it's definitely something that to keep in mind. I always like need a lot of sleep after one of those events, especially because it's not only puzzling a long time, but it's also, you know, not sleeping before that, only like a couple hours. So.
Yeah, what's like? I guess that's a reasonable question. What's a good way to prepare for one of these marathons if you've not done one before? Like I would imagine that like your back has got to be killing you, because a lot of people, you know, they get to like the 35-40 minute mark on one of these 500s and they're already feeling it. So I'd imagine, you know, 10 hours of that, you're gonna have to get a couple of cranes to like hold you up. And
yeah, exactly. No, I actively make it you know, an exercise to like or think about, you know, moving around as much as I can. I keep reminding myself every 30 minutes, like change position, move as soon as I feel something, because I know it's going to be a while. And then also bring lots of like snacks, sugar, basically, water, drink enough water. And yeah, you need to love puzzling for these kind of events. I feel like if you do, like, if you are not like a little bit obsessed with puzzling, then it's going to be a long time. But love puzzling, and then yeah, you just keep going. It's just so much fun.
And are you a fan of Jan van Hasteren puzzles after last weekend, after doing a 2,000 piece one?
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan before. I'm even less of a fan now. No, that's
2,000
actually
is huge for that amount of detail.
yeah. No, I'm only partly joking because I used to not love them as much, but they're kind of growing on me, despite the 2001. Also because I have Dutch nationals coming up. I have to qualify. I have 2 qualifiers coming up, so I have to practice some Jan van Hasteren now. And I actually did grow up with Jan van Hasteren because I did puzzle a little bit when I was like between 6 and 8 years old. So we did have like 10 Jan van Hasterens at home that I puzzled like a couple times. So it does bring back some memories for sure.
So when you so whenever there's a new event announced, you're like checking your calendar to see if you can fit it into a holiday.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's funny because I have this friend. Her name is Milvia. She was like basically the first person that reached out to me in the puzzle community ever, because she saw that I was registered for the championship in 2023. So she was like, "Oh, I see that you're from Belgium. Would you ever be interested in puzzling together?" And she was from Brussels, so I drove over there, and then we puzzled together. It was the first time ever that I really, puzzled with somebody else. She is very, she already had a lot of connections, so that helped. And she knows about a lot of competitions in Belgium. So she was like, at the beginning, she was like, "Oh, there's one on this date." And I'm like, "Okay, put it in my calendar. There's one on this date, on this date, on this date." And then at a certain point, you're like, "Oh, woof, I said yes to all of them." And now I have like so many competitions to go to almost every week. So yeah, but it's no regrets. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and you told me today you've got a 4 this month, so we're going to see more of you.
I got what this month?
4 more online competitions.
The Jigsaw Jams.
4 competitions this month. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Slovenia Nationals in 2 weeks, so it's going to be busy again.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you gonna do?
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. And yeah, sorry I didn't get a chance to chat with you afterwards, because once the competition was over, it was like, oh yeah. For those that didn't know, Stein's team came 3rd, and they were just slightly ahead of us. So it was like I was always going to his table and checking, and I was like, they're about 10 minutes ahead of us. Like, and when we got to the vase puzzle, it was like, yeah, everyone's like slowing down on this puzzle. Maybe we can catch up, but we didn't. So he got on the podium, and yeah, we'll have to make it up some other time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Maybe next time, yeah. So thanks for chatting with us, and yeah, see you at the next competition.
Yeah, hopefully.
Bye-bye. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
All right, and thanks to everyone who participated today, and for those who have joined us on the live stream and left comments. And yeah, we'll see you at the next time. It's on Thursday at 7 p.m. and we'll be doing another
puzzle that will be fun. Yeah,
it'll be a mystery puzzle. So it's Thursday, 7th of November.
It'll be an adventure for everybody.
Yes.
Be there or be a parallelogram.
Yeah. All right. So Colin, enjoy the rest of your puzzle, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks everyone. Bye.